Hello, my name is Reed, and today we're doing Inktober day 10 or 11. I cannot remember. I think it's 10. Anyway, I'm making a real intro today because I promised at the start of the series if I used any other supply, I would make a real intro explaining what it was. So this is what I've been using for the last few days. Yes, I painted my nails again. All this lovely stuff. It's not expensive, but it's not like the cheapest stuff there either. It cost me a lot of money to save up, and it took me time to save up to buy all of these things, and today I'm not using any of it. Oh, I'm gonna hate this. Today I'm using this. This is a Papermate Inkjoy pen. Yep, that's it. So there are about 6 left in here. Don't know if you guys can see that very well, it's quite dark. And I'm going to be using only this, no undersketch, nothing. Now, I quite like ballpoint pens over a pencil sketch. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I just can't sketch something straight away and done. No, I spend 4 or 5 hours on a sketch because I need to make it perfect before I can ink it. So I like these for inking, but I've done a few practice ones. I can't find it currently. Okay, I found it. So this is the practice one that I did. This is the image I'm going to be recreating in bigger scale. So I wanted to practice because, as I said, I'm a perfectionist. I like my sketches to be done in advance and perfect, but today I'm not using my nice colour pencils, which I just got 72 of, so that I can have all the pretty colours my little heart desires. Today I'm using just this specific one Bic. Not even Bic, sorry, it's Papermate. Today's going to be interesting. Alright, so I'm going to regret this. I'm going to start the video now, so hopefully I don't fail miserably. See you guys in the voiceover. Hello, welcome to the voiceover. So here I've just taken the cap off the pen and I'm writing. This is going to be interesting just to get the ink flowing. Also there the image was Jacqueline Dillion's art. So I'm just using that for, here I'm procrastinating starting. So basically the way I wanted to do this is I just add little dots for the head, the beak and some of the body parts just to kind of give it a really rough sketch, because I can't, here I'm just procrastinating more. I did a lot of procrastinating in this video. Like a lot of this video is just procrastination. Did it go again? So yeah. Basically I want to say in the intro, so like the 4 Faber-Castell pens that I use, they were like $15 for 4 of them. The brushes I used were like $16. Some of the other things, the ink I used was like $15. So it all adds up. So it took me a little while to get all those supplies. They weren't overly expensive, but I have a few mobility issues, so I can't really have a job at the moment. Plus I'm dealing with lots of mental stuff as well. So I kind of have money I earn from doing work for my dad, and that's pretty much it. So it did take me quite a long time to get all the supplies I have now, and a lot of work. A lot of it's like birthday and Christmas money, doing work for my dad and just saving up. So that's the thing I wanted to clarify. Yeah. So it's all kind of student grade stuff. So yeah, here I am. I've just done a kind of very light sketch, was I that came with the ballpoint pen, of the raven, and I have a picture on the iPhone in front of me. Basically, that iPhone is an iPhone 4. It's not my current phone. I'm filming on my actual phone. That's one I had many years ago that ran out of space, and now I just use it for reference. Oh yeah, you know how when you push on a bit of paper it can go through? I didn't want it to ruin the sketch underneath, or the page underneath, sorry. So I just put an extra bit of kind of watercolour, not really watercolour, but just kind of thick paper. Yeah. But I wanted to make this video because I started this series saying ink can be quite expensive. Like a bottle of Indian ink's like $15. And that's quite a bit, especially for someone from me or someone younger than me who can't work, or someone the same age as me who can't work for similar reasons to myself. Like, these pens I've had for like years because I use them in college. I'm not at college. Oh, sorry, high school. You guys call it high school. We call it college here, and university's university. Anyway, I used these in high school, and I bought them like 1 or 2 years ago, and I just haven't used them all. But I have these pens all over my house. They're just bloody everywhere. So yeah. I mean, I think most people kind of have ballpoint pens all over their house, so yeah. I just wanted to prove that you don't need all these art supplies, because I see a lot of, like, not even on my channel, but just in general, a lot of young people saying, I can't make art because I don't have all these nice supplies. I'm using a ballpoint pen. It's not what you use, it's how good you are at using it. Okay, so I was watching Drawing with Waffles pen only sketch, and she kind of smudged it, but it didn't look as good with a black pen. It looked better with a purple pen, but yeah. That's something we always get across, is that just because you might not have a lot of money doesn't mean you can't participate with art. Art is what you make of it. You don't need to have all the expensive supplies. You need to master the supplies you have. I mean, sometimes expensive supplies make it a little bit easier, but most of the time, if you can't master the supply, you're not getting any good with it. I know an artist who works solely in Crayola pens, and they create the most beautiful work, but they can't do diddly squat with Copic markers because they just don't get them. They don't understand how they work. So I asked this person, they don't want their face revealed or their name revealed or anything. They're quite a private person. They just make Crayola sketches and stuff for fun. So yeah, it's something I wanted to bring up. But yeah, so I mean, Inktober doesn't, it has to be done in ink. I mean, preferably it was made for ink, but that's because the artist who made it primarily uses ink. So yeah, the challenge was just made to improve your skill and stuff. So yeah, I mean, just use whatever you can. Oh yeah, so this phone that I'm using has an auto lock after 5 minutes, which is really frustrating, so I have to keep turning it on. But yeah, here I am just kind of going over. So just while you're watching, I didn't make it exactly to the same as picture, sorry, because I wanted it to look kind of more like it was done in pen, I guess, like kind of work in the medium. So I kind of just did the best I could in that's the way I do it. So it's not exactly right, some of the tonal values are a bit off, but that's just how I wanted to make it, so I made it that way. Yeah, just because I'm not a photorealism artist. I'm a stylized artist. I make stuff how I want it to be, so that's what I did. Yeah. So here I am adding in kind of a mid shade on the darker areas, leaving out where the shine's going to be, because if you look in the reference image, there's kind of this band of highlight across the back of its wings, so I just left that out from going over where I'm going over now. Also, this is sped up like 6-7 times, I think. Maybe not, maybe 5, I don't know, but yeah. I do not draw this fast, gosh, I wish I did. This piece took probably about 2 hours, including breaks, like a break or two and stuff. Not like a long break, but just like sorting out reference images and things. But yeah, so I'm just going over the underneath of every kind of feather. They kind of look like scales, but they're definitely like just round feathers. Going underneath each one of those to shade them, and then shading these kind of mid-length feathers underneath the row of other mid-length feathers. I'm terrible at explaining stuff. I'm really sorry. But yeah, I'm just kind of shading with my hands covering most of it, because that's how I work. Sorry. Yes, just doing more shading using a pen. So I did just use one pen for all of this. I didn't have to swap it or anything. A few times I had to end up like just kind of scribbling on that bit of paper again to make it go again, but apart from that it was pretty much good the whole way through, except towards the end there a bit of the ink gunked up on the little metal nib thing and I had to wipe it off. So I'm going over the areas because it wasn't dark enough, so I'm just going over there doing kind of a back and forth motion with my pen, and I go over the whole area that needs to be darker, leaving that white highlight to go over later. Not even white highlight, just the lighter highlight area. Making the head a little bit darker because it still wasn't. And the area above those mid-length feathers was also slightly darker than the rest of it, so I went over that again. And then here I am starting on the longer tail feathers. There are 2 layers to these tail feathers. Oh, sorry, I got cold, so I put on my jersey. So I jump around a lot, I'm sorry. That's just kind of how my brain works, so that's how I work. So just going over the lighter leaves with kind of a mid shading under each of the feathers. And then I go over the whole area with just kind of a light back and forth, leaving some white gaps to make it look lighter. So now I'm back to working on the tail feathers, the top layer of the tail feathers, the ones that go on an angle rather than straight down. And I'm slightly off camera here, not by much. You can see half of what I'm working on. That's a definite improvement, don't you guys think? Please, I need validation. I'm very self-conscious about my perfectionist about my art, so just there we go. I've realised it's off camera. See, I am getting better at this YouTube thing. I swear, I am getting better. I just still need a bit of practice. So if you guys can just bear with me. So just adding in. So these ones look nothing like the ones on the picture, but I wanted to make them more of an ombre. So I did. So here I'm just adding in this dark area with leaving this white highlight and going back. So these back feathers look like they were highlighted too much. So I just went over those and over the other highlights because it was looking a bit too white. And here I am starting on the eyeball that it has in its mouth. In the reference picture it's just like a glass ball, I think it's glass, might be like plastic or something, but I wanted to make it an eyeball because it's October and I wanted to make it spoopy. So I'm not very good at drawing realistic eyes, especially not in pen because I can't smudge. Well, I can, it just doesn't look right. So I'm going over just around the iris, adding all those lines, leaving a highlight in negative space because I can't use a white pen, just this bloody ballpoint pen. So yeah, here I am adding in some veins, sorry, and adding a shadow to the bottom of the feet and under the tail, and that concludes the voiceover. This is the final result of the ballpoint pen challenge using just this one Papermate Inktober pen. This is not a sponsor or anything, it's just the one I have the most because I like this pen the most. Also, as you can see, towards the end of using this pen, it did kind of glump up on the little, is it a nib? What would you call that? Like the little middle bit. So I wiped it off my finger first and then with the tissue, but it did smudge, but it's fine because I added the shadow, but yeah. Anyway, also I'm left-handed, so there is pen all over my hands, which is why that's why I sketch in colour pencil, because it doesn't smudge as much. I try to choose pens that don't smudge too much, but there's this pen here and here, but whatever, it still looks bloody awesome. I was going to add in a background, but I didn't want to use a compass, and I always do my backgrounds in circles because I just love the way that looks. So I decided against it because I didn't want to F it up when it looks so bloody cool as it is. So I'm like, I'm just going to leave it because I like the way it looks. So yeah, it was quite difficult not having any white highlights to do because I had to kind of add them in and think about it and plan it myself. Normally I just kind of do a really light base tone over the whole thing, and it was interesting working with a pen because normally I work with a lot of wet mediums. I don't do a lot of dry medium stuff, but I quite enjoyed this. It was interesting. I think pen cats are dry medium, and not paint, My name is Ree. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, Inktober day 10. I hope to see you guys tomorrow for day 11. Don't forget to take your paintbrushes out of your water and turn your pens off.